my friends. So you can't see me, but you can see what's important in front of you. This is Unit 4, Lesson 1. Our objective today is going to be identify and draw points, lines, line segments, rays, and angles. We're going to recognize them in various contexts and familiar figures. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that this right here is a line segment. So it connects 2 points, point A to point B. You notice that it starts with a point and it ends at a point. Okay, coming to our second vocabulary word, point. It's a specific location, so you're going to see points. Okay, next, you're going to see the difference between what is a line segment versus a line. A line is a straight path extending in both directions. You notice on this particular model that A and C are our points, but the line extends all the way through with arrows on either side. So the difference between a line, you notice that it extends beyond the points, where a line segment will stop at each point. We label a line segment AB with just a line over the top. A line is labeled AC with a line with arrows going in both directions. Okay, all right, that leads us to our next line, which we call a ray. Okay, and the difference between a line segment, a line, and a ray is a ray starts at a point, you see point E, and it goes through point F. So a ray is a line with a starting point but no end point. It can connect to a line segment. It can come off of a line, which you will see. Okay, and our last vocabulary word that's really important is what is an angle. An angle measures the amount of turn and when two rays share the same endpoint. For example, look at the picture. So here's our angle. Right? That's where two lines meet is a vertex, or sometimes we refer to it as a vertice. Okay? You can start at C, go to X, go to B. You have a ray and another ray, and we label it this way. So you put the angle and CXB, or you can write it with BXC. All of our line segments, line, rays, angles, they form figures. Figures are drawn using a set of points. Okay, so you see this is a familiar figure. This figure is a rectangle. It has points A, B, C, and D. All of the points connect. They are all line segments because they do not go through each other. So point A can go to point B, and we label it this way with just a line over the top. We could go from point B to point D with a line over the top. We could go from point C to point D, or C to A, or D to B. They're all line segments because they go from one point and they end. Okay? We can also look at the angles. So I could start at point C, go through A, and over to B. And we label it as CAB with the angle symbol in front. This again is a familiar figure. Okay. When we come over to this figure, you notice that it's a familiar figure, and we've got a few points on there. We have point A, point B, point C, point E way down here, and then D in the middle. We can have point A to point B and label that. We could go from D to B. We could go from D to C, all line segments. I can make angles, B to D to C. Okay, but what if I wanted to extend any of these, make it a ray? Very easy to do. Okay, so we're going to take my black marker And I'm gonna actually extend my AB point.